Good afternoon. This is Jonathan from Casco Manufacturing. It's late October. I think it's the 24th, and it's almost crunch time. You know, normally we wouldn't be doing anything out in the field right now. Wouldn't be planting any plots, but we're going to do a little bit of testing on this new VariMaxx. We've actually come up with a 4-foot version of the VariMaxx to go behind subcompact tractors. You know, same disc, same setup as the larger units, but we just scaled it down a little bit. That way it would, be fitted to a small subcompact tractor in the 23, 25 horse range. Plenty of lift to get it off the ground, and of course, adequately sized to where we can pull it with a small tractor like that and not overwork the tractor itself. So we're going to do a little bit of testing. It's so late that we're probably going to do a little bit of winter wheat is all we're going to plant with it, but that'll give us a good run to see how it's going to run out. Make sure the discs are cutting good, make sure the angle's right, and just give it a good once over here before the end of the year, and hopefully this stuff will germinate. We do have a rain coming in tomorrow. That's kind of why we're doing this, and maybe we can get a little bit of germination and have just a nice little even bed here of winter wheat. And then we're also going to do the side edge of the field over here. We're getting ready to harvest this corn. We're going to shell that corn in a couple of days, but I want to get this in before the rain. That way when all the corn is gone, we've got a nice clean green edge right along the edge of the woods there, and hopefully get some deer to pop out. And of course I've got a nice stand right there in the pinch in the corner. So this should be a pretty good set right here. We're just going to go ahead and try to finish it out. So this is the VariMaxx unit. This is a 4-footer. Like I said, it goes behind a subcompact tractor, 23 to 25 horse. We'll go ahead and lift and run this unit. It's kind of an all-in-one unit. All right, I'm going to step over here. We've got notched concave discs, okay, and they are set at a slight angle, but that is adjustable. We have a pin that you can pull up top, and we can affect, with this pin here and the lever, we can affect the pitch of these angles and, pick how aggressive we want this thing to work the ground. If we don't want to tear it up, we can leave the disc straight ahead and just see small, what I call pencil lines every 6 inches. Or, in this case, we're going to angle it to the full degree, and we're going to work this ground a bit ahead of seeding. Okay, we've got the standard Casco box that we use on every drill. With those wobble slot meters that everybody loves. They're cast iron, they're bulletproof. Will do anything from your smallest clovers and brassicas all the way up to corn and beans, even sunflowers on the big end. So we have the most versatile metering system out there with this unit, just as every other unit that we sell. It's got the broadcast pan, so this is going to be broadcasted over the full width of the unit. This is not a no-till in rows. This is a work ground, drop the seed and cold to pack it in type situation. So we've got this nice broadcast pan. It's going to deflect about 4 times when it comes out of the meter, and when it comes out the bottom of this pan, it's going to be even from one side of the unit to the other. And of course we've got the nice cast iron cold-to-packer that's going to pack the seed in and firm up our seed bed. I do have a mud scraper on this unit, which right now is not very necessary. This ground is bone dry. There is nothing to it. We haven't had rain for about a month now, so cutting in may be a little difficult, but I think this thing is up to the task, and we're going to see how this guy runs. All right, we're going to go ahead and load this VariMaxx up. We're going to go with winter wheat. And I'm going to put about half the bag in. We don't have a whole lot to do and don't want to waste any seeds, so go ahead and put about half of it in. Good. Now the second thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and set the meter. And for the winter wheat, typically do 120 to 180 pounds an acre. That's probably a little much for what we're doing right now. I'm going to go a little less. 3/4 is what's set for here. We're probably going to go to about 5/8, since I do have some stuff already coming up in the plot. And so of course we're set at 0, right on the line. We're gonna open that guy right up to 5/8 and lock her down. Make sure you set this wing nut. This is the most important thing. As you run this, if you don't set that wing nut, this meter is going to continue to open just due to vibration running in the field. And when that meter opens up, let's just say your seats are flowing a little better, and you can actually dump too much seat out just by, not properly locking down the wing nut. All right, I think we're set to go. That's the good thing about this drill. It's the simplest thing ever. We look at the chart, we adjust the handle, set the tape measure, lock the wing nut. No transmission, no chains to take off, no sprockets to change. It's virtually the simplest unit out there to set, and it's one of the most accurate. So we've got this set. Let's go ahead and shut the lid and get ready to run. Yeah, the few changes that we made here, this drill is really running well. We shortened the frame up just a little bit. It's so easy to pick up with this small tractor. It's easy to turn around. We're doing this small plot with, let's just say, a lot of obstacles here, and I'm able to steer right around these trees that we planted. I've actually got probably a dozen of them in this small plot, which would make it almost impossible for a larger unit to make it through here. But with this subcompact tractor, I mean, it's almost like mowing a yard. You can get this thing around these small trees and get right into the small, what I call kill plots, where I've never been able to get before. I always had to broadcast these plots, and had good years and bad years. With a small seeder like this, I should be able to reproduce this type of plot every year. Now, right around that tree. Didn't think twice about it. Being a 3-point, it's just so handy to be able to pick up. I can back right up to this tree, set her down, pull straight off, and not miss a beat. Pretty impressive for a small outfit. You normally have a lot of sacrifices when you go smaller, but this thing does everything the big ones do, and I can do it in smaller areas. So to me, it's just a perfect combination. And actually, the speed of this thing was another thing I was going to talk about. Normally, this plot, even broadcasting, would take me quite a while to walk around and get around these trees. I mean, I've actually done this whole plot in just a matter of moments. And it's really turning this dirt up, especially for how dry it is and the size of this machine. Most small machines wouldn't consider cutting into the ground the way this one does, especially with no moisture for a month. But that's why we do this testing. That's why we're out here doing it right now instead of deer hunting. Normally I would be out, it's October 24th, and to me, it's about the perfect time to start getting in the woods and getting after a target buck. It's about the first time you're probably going to see him on their feet in the daylight. But we've got time. I'm not worried. And this testing is pretty much at the end for this year. This is about the last time we'll probably have this out. like this for many years, but this one is, you know, definitely a little bit different. Has a few more options, a few more things going on. And I'm a big believer in testing and retesting and testing one more time. Because before you guys get it out in the field, I want to make sure that it's going to work and hold up to about anything you can do to it. Well, I'd say we've got 2 more passes here and this plot's a wrap. So this is post-planting. We went through and did a 1 pass on this with the VariMaxx. It definitely, you know, definitely did its job. Worked that, let's just say, bone dry ground. You can tell just by the color of this, it's normally a really dark brown, but we're almost a grayish. We're so dry right now. You know, we seeded the winter wheat, which you can see some here. There's definitely a little bit up top. You know, it was pretty dry for this, and you know, we didn't get it as fine as maybe I'd like. But I think for right now, especially with the winds coming, I don't want to break it down too fine because I don't want to have any erosion. But I did want to get good soil contact, and we do have that here. Most of the seed is definitely tucked in, you know, where it should be. You know, with this particular seeder, you know, it is not a no-till drill. This is, you know, this is working the ground, dropping the seed and pressing it in. And no, it did a great job. I think this is going to come up nice, provided we get the rain. You know, I can't guarantee that, but the weatherman says 70%, so I'm going to trust him. And hopefully this will sprout here in a few days, and we'll have a nice little plot here for probably a little bit later season on this one. But you know, we're not that far away right now. We're already at the end of October, and I'd say by mid to later November, this is going to be a go-to. This stuff should be, you know, 1 inch or so tall, provided we get some rain, and you know, be a nice little plot for them to chew on.